Yo, welcome back to our third annual Christmas special. This is part 2. Hopefully you're having a great time. Top up your glasses, friends and lovers, and let's continue. Let's move on, Quentin. Oh, sorry, OT. We covered the film Cube, and just to outlay, we haven't watched the sequels, although we are looking forward to the Japanese Cube coming out soon.
I gave it a 9. It could have been a 10 if it wasn't for Quentin. He took a whole point out of that.
I gave it an 8.
Whoa!
I gave it an 8. I guess I also take into consideration it was, if not the pioneer, one of the earlier offerings.
The pioneer.
All right, go off, King. But there are better offerings of this, Gemma Chan's Exam as well as Colin Samuel's Exam. There's also that one where there's like dots in a room.
Yeah.
Circle? The Circle?
Yeah.
El Hoyo, as we know, I am Katie Tremagasi with my knife. OT with his suitcase of beef jerky.
I'd live there the longest, mate.
I don't know, referencing Alive, you kind of can find your own beef jerky if you've got a knife. But you can't joke about that, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave Cube an 8.
Okay.
And it was the strongest out of the sequel, but it was fun to watch the other one. It was nice. Let's move on to something that's even more nice. We have our first and only guest spot of 2021.
Woo!
Feels special. Thanks for coming, friends and lovers. We have Jamal and Seth that came onto the show as a part of Pride Month, and we covered Edge of 17. We talked and learned about poppers, unrequited loves, lots of beautiful insights that they brought to the episode. And we fucking love them as well. They currently have Thanks for Coming podcast. Go and check that out. Jamal says, okay, I'm going to give Edge of 17 an _. It was a decent queer coming of age tale. What do you think, Jamal?
I think he gave it a 9.
He gave it an 8.
Cool.
Let's go into Seth, and not to play favorites, but he did give the best commentary to a rating. I would give the movie blank splooshes out of 10 splooshies.
Whoa.
Can you believe, OT? After 3 years, this is the first time a patron and or guest has used splooshes as their barometer.
Oh, that's good to hear that, though.
It is, and it's good to feel it, isn't it? Edge of 17 is a great representation of where queer life has come from and still experiences. I really connected to the movie as a queer person who is into stereotypical gay lifestyle. What do you think Seth rated it?
A 9?
How many splooshes?
9.
8.5.
Okay. I give it an 8.
Okay, I also gave it an 8. Okay, nice. We align again. Let's move on. Closing out Pride Month, we covered another Australian film, The Sum of Us. Our first Russell Crowe as well, by the way.
Yeah. I know you're disappointed it wasn't Gladiator.
No, I actually really love this film.
No, as in the first Russell Crowe thing to cover.
No, but I love this film, so I don't mind.
All right, cool.
And I don't know, friends and lovers. I watch films that I thought I loved, and then Anchorman. We're never going to cover Anchorman, by the way.
Just because I fucking hate those people, so.
Yeah, but I tried rewatching it, and it was fucking... Anyway.
You got me to watch it, and you're like, I love this. So how much do you love it now, eh?
You got some auto eyes going on.
Just channeling coffee, mate.
I don't know, OT. Sorkin and 30 Rock said you shouldn't mix metaphors, and I would say you shouldn't mix references, but what do I know? What did you give Some of Us?
I give it an 8.5.
Okay, I gave it a 9.
Fair enough.
I think because I was so surprised, because again, we didn't think much of it and we really loved it. And also, not to the level of Schitt's Creek, but it definitely gave us a feeling that a love was a real love. Because I don't believe in unconditional love, but we do talk about Mary J. Blige's real love.
Yeah.
And their love was tested and it was beautiful. And father-son dynamic, especially when the son is gay, beautiful. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it a 9. Let's move on. Again, talking about trying to appeal to our friends and lovers that are very gracious and they'll follow us along with our Alice in Borderlands, our 4 blocks without ever watching it. We try to throw people a bone, right? And this is when we cover films like You've Got Mail. We've got another patron rating, OT.
Okay.
We have Ben. Ben, yes. Okay, so Ben gave his rating, and this is what he says. Why? Because I went to see this in cinema with my mum when I was 12. We'd already seen Sleepless in Seattle on rotation regularly on VHS prior to that. Kids, Google that. It's a sweet little film which, although it ignores the huge privilege both its leads have, I can't help but love them falling in love. What do you think Ben gave You've Got Mail?
I think Baby Ben gave it a 10.
Oh, Baby Ben. Nostalgia Ben.
Yeah.
Eh? Not quite a 10. Maybe Baby Ben gives it a 10, and then Today Ben equals an 8.
Okay. I thought it'd be higher. I gave it a 6. I just couldn't get past those two, man. Just fucking ridiculous people.
High five. We align again. Yes, I gave it a 6 as well. I couldn't. Yeah, there's something to be said, and you know we love Succession, but it was very obvious, you know. Anyway, classism. You know, I'll talk about it till the cows come home, unless they don't because you had to sell it to feed your kids. But there you go. So moving right along, I really didn't like this film. I didn't like any of these films. Well, let's talk about Legally Blonde very quickly. What did you rate Legally Blonde?
I give Legally Blonde a 6.
I gave it a 6 as well. High five. I feel like gay people like it. I just didn't like the way gay people were portrayed.
I think I only gave it a 6 because I watched it in high school. I think it was the first movie like we watched in school together. And that just left a mark. But other than that, nah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like the way... Anyway, we've talked about it. I don't want to continue. Legally Blonde 2.
I give it a 4. It probably could have been lower, but...
I give it a 3. But we also learn our lesson. If we watch the first film and it's... Well, not in this case, but if we watch the first film and we love it, like Airplane and Cube...
They dangled Regina King in the second one.
Yeah, actually, that's the only reason why. Otherwise, we wouldn't have watched the second one. So even though I gave it a meager 3 points, all of those, I want to make it very clear, are being allocated to Regina King in the holy year of Regina King. Every year is the holy year of Regina King. But everything else about that can fuck off. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Again, being TV people, we covered all seasons, because it's now over, Atypical.
Love the show.
Love the show.
I give it a 9.
I gave it a 9 too. I absolutely gave it a 9.
Nice.
High five. You know, friends and lovers, as much as I wank and sploosh myself for the fact that we cover a lot of race, ethnicities, even, you know, sexuality, I am consciously aware that we could do more in way of watching in regards to ableism. So I'm glad that, first of all, Atypical exists. But again, when we talk about Mystery Road, same thing with Atypical. It becomes a circle in the Venn diagram of, you know, diversity, people being able to write stories from their specific experiences, as well as fucking quality. And this is where the show lied. I fucking love the show. Let's move on. Ooh, OT. We are coming to find, friends and lovers, that KT has Denzel tax.
I know you do.
It doesn't extend to the Washington family, just to Denzel. What did you rate American Gangster?
I give it a 7.
Oh, okay.
It could have been higher if it was the first time watch. Second time watching it, I just had problems ringing on my head.
Okay.
Especially him just fucking throwing all the rules that he'd set up. He'd beat people for less.
Yeah.
And he fucking wore that chinchilla coat. As if he was...
Yeah. Well, I guess even though Breaking Bad came out after it, I do like to talk about the Heisenberg effect. It's like you are fucking skilled, but you need to be anonymous. But your ego won't let you be anonymous, right?
Mm-hmm. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I really enjoyed the film. And I give American Gangster an 8.5.
Oh. I think the ending even got to me more this time. Like, I was just pissed.
I just really liked the way Denzel Lucas carried himself. And even with the Idris Elba scene, like, I really...
That was one of the best moments in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I guess just for some splooshy reprieve, what would you say are your top Denzel performances?
Training Day has to be up there, man.
And we've covered it. Go and check out that episode.
Malcolm X is amazing. People don't say this enough, but Man on Fire was on fire.
Okay. As opposed to being on water.
Yeah, what about you?
Training Day. I really love Training Day. Fences, maybe on the Patreon we'll talk about Fences.
Yeah.
I would say Training Day is up there. American Gangster is up there as well. As much as I do love, and I get a bit lightheaded thinking about Denzel, my breadth of Denzel watching is whatever is on the podcast. So absolutely love it. Moving on, another first OT. Our first Richard Gere film.
Yeah.
Which is wild because I'm sure other podcasts would have covered it before the third year. We covered Hachi.
I give it a 7.
I gave it a 7 too.
Nice.
Friends and lovers, unfortunately, my childhood dog passed away, and that is why we covered Hachi, because I needed a sad dog film to watch.
People in that town were just cruel to dogs, man. Fuck's sakes.
Like it was like Home Alone level cruel.
No one fucking cares, mate.
No. But that's also a good life lesson.
Poor ass dog freezing itself in the cold. Oh, it's just looking for its own. It's all right.
Yeah, but hardly the film was about dogs, same as Marley and Me. But anyway, we talked about it in that episode. I think it's annoying. Can we stop doing American remakes of like brilliant non-American films? Anyway, but yeah, so I gave that film a 7, even though I don't necessarily believe it's a 7, but at that point in time, I needed a sad dog film. So that's why it gets a 7. Okay, let's move on to something that doesn't need extra tax. We have Suicide Squad. We have not only another patron rating / ratings, but we have our first showdown OT.
Oh.
And it is a showdown between co-hosts from the Filmbusters podcast.
Oh, all right.
It'll be interesting because I don't even know if they knew that they both rated for this film. Okay, so we'll start off with Paul. And Paul says, The Suicide Squad. You know me and DC. I'm in love. What do you think you rated it?
I think he gave it a 9.
He absolutely gave it a 9. So let's move on to non-hero fan Ben. Just because you can make a superhero movie out of a bunch of misfits doesn't mean you should. I didn't enjoy the teenage version of this film, so what made me think I would enjoy the man-child 5 years later version?
Man-child.
You guys, if you need mediators, we have very affordable rates. What do you think Ben rated The Suicide Squad?
I think Ben gave it a 5.
He does, and he needs to get his finger out of his ass. But he does love Pussy Valley. So, yes, but he did give it a 5. Where do you fare? Are you leaning towards Paul or leaning towards Ben?
I give it an 8.5. I think they leaned into what would make it great, and we can't fault them for that, man.
Me too. And we aligned on a 0.5, would you believe, friends and lovers? Let's move on to... I'm exhausted just looking at it, OT. The first season of The White Lotus. I don't know if we'll cover it again if there is another season, but The White Lotus, OT.
Probably not. I think I added a bonus point just for Paulo in here, but I give it a 5.
Okay, that's a lot for appropriating brown skin, but... Well, I'm your mirror, OT. I gave The White Lotus a 4.
Okay.
I love and laud all stories around the world, but when it comes to specifically islanders, like Pacific Islanders, Polynesia as well, I do have tax, and we come to find that out. The way OT rides hard for particular films and TV shows, I do the same. Unfortunately, there's not enough of us on a global scale where we are telling the stories and you have the white man writing it.
Oh.
That's not racist. Go and look at who wrote The White Lotus. So no, it's a 4 because if in my podcast power I can fucking slap you on the wrist, it's a 4. Stop putting on people's skin. Go and write a sci-fi about finding spice.
But he went to Thailand to learn all these things.
To Thailand? How does that help?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure that's where he said he went, but cool.
OT, the right-hand man you don't want in a fight because it's not useful. Thank you, OT, for defending the white man.
You're welcome.
Super appreciated it.
They all need a black savior once in a while.
Please, friends and lovers, fund OT's screenplay. I would love to see it. Because what the fuck? Wow.
You're welcome.
I am.
I'll put a GoFundMe.
Perhaps because of White Lotus, perhaps because of Pamela's Paninis, we took a break the next week following, probably not the best to try and get us back into podcasting. We covered Kevin can himself.
Oh.
It still bothers me that we have asterisks on our titles. Because if you're going to swear, fucking swear. Like, I get that there's, like, standards and that sort of thing that people need to bypass. Then don't use the word fuck. Use something else.
The premise fundamentally has a flaw because she can just fucking leave, mate.
Yeah.
And Kevin isn't that bad. He's exactly the same guy he was in high school.
People need to understand the difference between compatibility and terrible, because he wasn't terrible. They just weren't compatible. Without spoiling the show, friends and lovers, this is not a show that's not set in the 1950s. She does have a job, albeit a shitty job, but she does have a means to look after herself, and it is set in a time where women can open their own bank accounts. So it was paper thin, you know, I guess the tethering that she had to her marriage. But anyway, we let out all our anger, and I don't want to spoil it too much. But what did you rate Kevin?
I give it a 7. It was supposed to be a 6, but I bump it up a point just because of the ending. Having Kevin's best, I don't want to spoil it, but I think the ending is what really will elevate season 2 if they make the right decisions. It's going to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, but don't meander and then give us a fucking hook at the end. It's not fair.
Yeah.
But again, I gave it the same rating as you. Okay, friends and lovers, for those that have been following us for 3 years, our 7th episode, we covered La Casa de Papel. And this is Money Heist, Part 5, Volume 1. We have another patron rating, OT.
Oh.
Do you want to guess which patron?
Paul.
Paul. It was Paul.
Football Paul.
Football Paul. Okay, so Football Paul says, my underscore is also from Zoe, as she is so in love with the show as well. She says it's the best show she's ever watched. It has made her appreciate subtitles and opened her world to foreign film.
Nice.
For that, it gets a 10. And what did you rate it, OT?
I gave it a 10.
Yes! Yes! This show is coming to an end, but as we acknowledge in our house, sometimes let it end.
Yeah, I think it's nearing that, but I think Volume 1, Part 5 was really good.
But can we just say, like, unless it's a soap opera, there's no reason to go on for 40 seasons. Like, just end it when it's ready to end. And La Casa de Papel, we have loved so much. And thank you, because we're aware that people, you know, come across our podcast because of Money Heist. You know what's really cool? And I am a wanker in many ways, but I just want to be a baby wanker right now. Mm-hmm. When you type in Money Heist podcast, we come up.
Ooh.
That's fucking wild, right? I found that out through incognito-ing.
Nice.
Don't ask me about my incognito activities, friends and lovers. Let's move on to other non-mentionable activities. We covered season 1 of Netflix's Clickbait.
Yeah, we did. I give it an 8.
Okay.
I think it's just more the time it came out and the time we binged it.
Yep.
It was a welcome reprieve, and I appreciated it.
Yeah, considering what we had just, not Money Heist, but Kevin can fuck himself in the White Lotus. Yeah.
Considering this, you know, negating all the stupid decisions that guy made, it was
Yeah.
it is fair.
Yeah. I don't think it was the best title for the show without spoiling it. But yeah, it's definitely an adventure. And unfucking fortunately, with the ratings of Tiger King and the fact that there's another Tiger King, it does speak to the fact that ratings do mean shit, or at least viewership means shit. And a lot of people were watching and talking about Clickbait. Yeah. Let's move on. We had another break, again, paninis or otherwise. The next episode that we released was a patron preview of our exclusive patron show, Reference Plus, in October, which is a foreshadowing Godfather Orange, because we talked about Halloween in October of 2020. But the next and first episode of October, OT, fortunately, unfortunately, you will definitely know if you've listened to the Squid Game episode. We covered Squid Game season 1 because there will be a second season.
It started really strong. I really wanted to love it. By the end of it, it's an 8 for me.
Okay.
Just many decisions that annoyed me towards the end, and I couldn't fight myself off.
Why an 8? Or is it kind of like Okja, where it was strong, so that's where your points are going?
Yeah.
Okay. I gave it a 6.
Oh, wow.
Well, OT, if I can wank myself off more than I've done so already, we watch a lot of Korean cinema, drama, TV shows, right?
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I need to give all of my appreciation in Squid Game, because I know I will continue to watch. Just like Itaewon, one of another Splooshy Award winner. Beautiful, lovely, and also capable, which I wouldn't necessarily say is a problem, but based on what we've been watching, apparently it isn't easy to write depth of non-Korean characters. So 6 is enough for Squid Game. Let's move on. Ooh, OT, look at us diving into my little brown pool. We covered the New Zealand. You want to try that?
New Zealand.
Oh, no. Apologies, friends of mine. Soz cuz. We covered Head High. I love this show. Just to give a little bit of a spotlight for those that potentially skipped the episode because you haven't watched it. I think perhaps aside from Bend It Like Beckham, it's probably one of the first, at least I can say one of the first stories that center sports in the For Your Reference podcast that we've done, and succinctly about rugby, and succinctly about Maori and Pacifica players. You know, the glory, the accolades that you get from playing rugby, but also the long-term effects, non-Will Smith concussion or otherwise.
Yeah, it was really good. I think I enjoyed a whole lot of it. It's sad that it's not going to continue anymore.
Yeah.
But for what it's worth, I gave it a 9.
I gave it a 9 as well.
Oh.
Because even if they say they're of age and they're still in a school uniform, back away, friends and lovers. that won't mean anything, but it should mean everything. Stay away, friends and lovers. Okay, let's move into the next episode. This is, you will notice, just like animes need to have filler, we do have our reprieve weeks. And this next episode is a perfect example because no one, I think, is talking about repentance. However, we did cover it. Forrest Whitaker, Sanaa Lathan, Nicole Lowry Parker. Also, we love Anthony Mackie. What did you rate this film?
I'll give it a 6.
I gave it a 7.5.
It just annoyed me.
I like commentary about religion, so...
I like it too, but there's just a lot of stupidity going on around, and yeah, just couldn't see myself giving it any higher.
Yeah, like if you wake up in some sort of basement and you're tied up, don't be all smug. Like, how is that your go-to default? Wouldn't you be fucking scared?
Yeah, but Smug Doug doesn't know that, does he?
Also, friends and lovers, a friendly PSA from your non-friendly, very nasty Katie. If you're going to start a cult, don't leverage existing philosophies. That's all I will say. Okay, friends and lovers, we have gotten into spooky, literally, probably the only way that it's noted because of the name, Halloween.
Halloween.
And for the very first Halloween, we have another patron rating OT.
Oh, okay.
This is from Brandy. So Brandy says, Michael Myers is the ultimate killing machine. He has no shtick and he has no motive. Sorry, that sounded boring to me.
He has nothing.
He just exists and that's super scary. I love the Halloween movies, except Halloween 3 because that was garbage. So what do you think she rated the first Halloween?
I think she gave it a 9.
She did give it a 9. Look at you, OT.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you rate it?
I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6. Why'd you give it a 7?
I looked at it kinda just because of all the garbage you saw afterwards. I was like, maybe the first one wasn't that bad.
Okay. No, I feel ya. Let's just do a speed round, hey? Halloween 2.
6.
5. Halloween 3.
5.
5. Halloween 4.
5.
5. Halloween 5.
4.
5. Halloween 6.
4.
5. Halloween LL Cool J Erotica. Hey, short.
6.
6.
After all that.
And just like I allocated all my points to Regina King, I'm allocating all my points to LL Cool J. Okay. Resurrection.
5.
5. Halloween 2007, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Loved it. 8.
Loved it. 7. Halloween 2.
He fucking screwed the pooch there. 5.
5. Halloween, the most recent timeline.
I give it a 6.
4. Halloween Kills.
6.
4. Evil Dies
Tonight.
We also watch SNL, friends and lovers, and you should as well. Okay, so to start off November, and we are rounding out, friends and lovers, so if you do have anything left in that wine bottle or also in that water bottle, make sure you top up your glass. Starting off November, we covered Candyman, and wow, we haven't experienced any backlash, and I feel spicy enough to continue talking about gentrification, because it's not just white people, friends and lovers. But let's talk about the 1992, the best, both agreed, out of the two offerings, Candyman.
I give it an 8.
Ooh, maybe this is my Tony Todd bosom. I gave it a 9.
Okay.
Okay. An 8. Okay, so I'll be interested to see what you rate the next Candyman. But hold on, OT. Not only do we have uno, but we have dos. Patron ratings. Okay, we have Rob, and he says, I wish there was more meat on these bones. Sadly, we didn't get the next Seaman iteration I was hoping for. Too focused on rushing to the end, we missed out on all the anguish and emotion that could have been a great companion to The Fly, a noted influence of the film, but instead got a lightning quick light version. I sat with the thought that the social commentary was heavy-handed. It's not. I would feel frustrated and fed up if the main headline for my community was black male shot in early 20s. Social commentary wasn't the weakness of the movie. It was the waif-thin foundation that wasn't laid to support our characters, the lore, or the story. Ooh, we could have a whole discussion on Rob's comments. Yeah, I know. But what do you think Rob rated it?
I think he gave it a 5.
A 4. Yikes. Okay, let's move on to Colby. Yo, Colby.
Tell me, Colby.
I just watched the dopest damn ghost story I've ever seen. Is that a good thing, though?
Dopest Scooby-Doo, maybe.
Not even Scrappy. What do you think Colby rated it?
I think he gave it an 8.
A 9.
Oh!
A 9. Wow.
All right.
Trying to fuck up these averages, eh? How did you rate it, OT?
I gave it a 7.5.
I gave it a 7. Why the 0.5, sir?
Because it didn't deserve to be an 8, the same that I rated the 92 version. So 0.5 had to do.
All right, go off. The next episode we covered was the second Idris on a Cowboy iteration. And we have another patron rating, OT. Yo. Colby coming back in full effect. The Harder They Fall is my new favorite film of the year, and definitely in capitals, the most gangster western of all time.
100% agreed.
What do you think you rated it?
I think he gave it nothing short but a 10.
Something short, a 9.
Oh, come on, Colby.
What did you give it?
I give it a 10.
Ooh.
It's a 10.
Ooh, for Regina, right?
It's the best movie I've watched this year, hands down. We've watched it twice, I think pretty much back to back.
Which is unprecedented in our house.
The soundtrack, Jay Samuels just excelled directing this movie.
OT ain't dead on arrival.
Be dead soon enough for this rating.
Whoa, hey. I gave it a 9.
Fuck you!
If
Blasphemous nonsense, mate.
If Kenyan's own Eddie Kathegi wasn't in this film, what would you rate it?
9.5, but that doesn't matter.
Well, there you go. Let's move on. I would suggest if anyone is grieving, perhaps this film, may enrapture you in the arms of healing. Otherwise, if your panties are also missing, you can look at Mads Mikkelsen. The next episode was Riders of Justice.
I give it a 9. I
gave it a 10.
Oh, wow.
I love this film. I love this film so much.
Okay. I see you.
Sometimes there's too much bells and whistles and superfluous fluff. And this film didn't have that. It really stayed in some cases uncomfortable emotional drawings in the film, and I loved it.
Yeah, sometimes it's just good not to hide from the shit.
Yeah.
It's the shit that makes you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's the next Netflix series, like the movies that made you, the shit that made you.
Oh, that's a good idea. You should give it to your cooking buddy. Fucking ridiculous documentary. If you can even call it that.
Absolutely love. And OT, you did say that we would kick off Hannibal. First time watch for me, second time watch for you soon, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, friends and lovers. Take off your panties for a good time. The next episode we covered was not a good time, at least in my pussy valley. But we have another patron rating, OT, the last patron rating of the year.
All right, tell us.
And this is from, I did say beautiful Julio, maybe not anymore. You want to know what he said? He didn't even talk about the film. You're supposed to talk about the film. His comment is, to offset the almost inevitable low score from Katie. You're right, but still. What do you think Julio rated it?
I think you give it a 9.
He's very strategic, but he also is fair. He gave it an 8.
Okay.
What did you rate it?
I'll give it a 7.
Okay. You want to guess what I gave it?
A 2.
No, I gave it a 5.
Okay. 3 more points I thought he'd give it, so...
Yeah. Let's move right along. This episode, Friends and Lovers, for those that haven't listened, first, by the way, written, directed, and set in Ireland. Also Denmark for Writers of Justice. But for those that haven't listened to the episode because you haven't watched Kin, I would recommend that you can listen to the episode. Even though we do spoil it, I don't think it's worthy of a show that doesn't need to be spoiled. But also, we have a really great discussion talking about the genre of the drug game. And we pretty much go all around the world, and we've pretty much covered a lot of what we talk about in that particular episode. But I guess just focusing on Kin, did you think it was grand?
I don't think it was grand. Just some gangsters who don't know how to gangster. I give it a 6.
I gave it a 6 as well. All right. We have now made it to the current month of 2021. And the first episode of December, we covered Black Christmas, the first iteration.
Oh, I really love this movie. I really did. The fact that it was one of its first of its kind. I give it a 9.
I gave it a 9.5.
Nice.
Just got an edge over you.
Fully deserved, man.
Fully deserved, beautiful.
Billy
wonderful.
deserved the franchise, I tell you.
Yeah, and they tried with Halloween. Okay, let's get into the episode from last week. Netflix's queer-led Christmas film, Single All the Way.
Oh, I'd give Single All the Way a 7.
I gave it a 7 as well. What a Christmas miracle. We're both uniting. Shout outs to OT for making it about the plight of the black man.
It just stood out, man. Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
He also compared Inception to the film, so
Fucking stood out. Fucking stood out. And they just made him a fucking puppy dog without any feelings and just not any purpose. Just ridiculous. Fucking hell. Far out. That made me angry. Actually, it's a 6.
wow.
I'm taking my 1 point. It's a 6. It's a 6. Ugh.
Ooh. Friends and lovers, I actually feel like, aside from OT's grumblings over there, it is a great way to end it because, like we mentioned in the episode, and I guess I'll also reiterate it here, there's nothing wrong with being single during the festive season. It's fucking annoying, but it's also fucking annoying to also be in a relationship and not have kids during the holiday season. So hopefully you've all enjoyed this, and I do like to mention this every year, but if you are spending Christmas alone, hopefully our catalogue of podcasts can help you get you through those lonely times. But we fucking love ya. And it's been a hard slog of 2 fucking years, hasn't it?
It has. It really has.
What's the term in football when it's just terrible streak?
I think that the one I can think of is form is temporary, class is permanent. So regardless of the bad form you're going through right now, know your worth, know your quality, and that eventually would shine through.
Nice.
And it's something to cling on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we got a hybrid of year 1 and year 2 OT. You gave us some 10s, but you definitely had some ogre grumbles along the way.
Deserved grumbles.
And that's a callback to our Shrek episode. It still hurts me to this day.
Dear Lord.
If you want to hurt so good on Twitter and Instagram, we're at For Your Pod.
Write us an email at hello@podcast.com.
We're also on Theo the Christmas Hound podcast if you like to leave a rating and review. And we'll see you guys in between the new year.
Woo!
See ya.
Ciao.